Hello, hello. It's Emily Wardrop from Drop the Word Life Coaching and Eve Wardrop, aka Seven. She wanted to make a cameo today. You want to say hi? Want to tell them what you can say? Okay. Da, 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 da. Do your babies all say da, da first? I'm like, hey, say mama. You say mama? Mama, mama, mama. There's nothing for her to play with on my desk. She's allowed to put it. So this is less than awesome. So cameo over. Say bye-bye. Can you do your bye-bye? She's like, I don't see anybody leaving. Where's your bye-bye? She's 9 months old now. Pediatrician thought it was her 1 year appointment when she walked in. Not a normal 9-month-old. Huh. You got places to go, things to do. Say bye-bye. 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 Where's your bye-bye? Sometimes she does. That's a subject for a fun video. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. If they ever do, we expect that they always will, right? Do that. Okay, say bye-bye. I'll be right back. Okay, we are back. Thanks, big kids, for watching the little kids. Big kids with quotation marks. My oldest is 8. So the 6-year-old and the 5-year-old really like to babysit the baby for about 5 minutes. So we did that while I was getting my flowers put together, and then they were over it, so I put her to bed. Okay. And the oldest is watching the 3-year-old. So we've got no babies in here anymore. I'm super hot though. Hold on, let me pause it again. Oh, can you tell my flowers are dead? I am not a huge fan of flowers, actually. And I tell my husband this all the time, but if he likes to buy them, that's fine. So our anniversary was in July, and I hung up some of the roses upside down while they were still fresh so that they would dry, going straight up and down, these ones in the back. And then these ones are all slumped over because they were the ones I kept in the vase that died, and their heads got heavy. But I put it together in an okay little bouquet back there. You can't really see it, I'm sure, but anyway, $50 for flowers or $50 for a Lego set. Come on, I'd rather have a Lego set. And so would he. So someday maybe he'll remember. So I'm playing with these to remind me what I'm talking about today. Okay, so we're all about dropping the war, right? Today, we're going to talk about dropping the war on emotions. Okay, I've got lots of videos about emotions, but today what I want to talk about is one of the ways we drop the power struggle war with our kids is to know that emotions are not a problem that need to be fixed. I say this all the time. Okay, but I have to remind myself of this like 1,000 times a day. So I'll remind you again, and I'm sure I'll say it 1,000 more times. So these are little, I don't know, meditation balls, stress balls. I don't know what they call them. I got them in China back in 2000. Remember when we went, Erin? Erin's my sister. So we did a little study abroad trip with Southern Virginia University. Yeah, I think it was still SVC back then. And I have all sorts of random souvenirs in this office actually that you can't see, but that my kids like to come in and play with. So these little stress balls, meditation balls, I don't know how you're really supposed to use them, but they remind me of breathing, right? And processing emotion. So here's the thing. When your kid gets mad, do you get mad at him for being mad? When your daughter's frustrated, do you get frustrated about her frustration? It's very normal. It's called mirroring. You have literally mirror neurons in your brain, and it's good for empathy, right? Like we want to be empathic sometimes. Like when people are sad, we want to cry with those who cry, right? Mourn with those who mourn. But it's not always useful to mirror emotions. And in the coaching world, sometimes we call that jumping in the pool. As a coach, jumping in the pool with the client, right? We need to keep a neutral space and not believe the client story and all that. But as a mom, it's very useful too to hold space for their emotions, okay? So when your kid is completely flipping out, if you can have the wherewithal to take a breath, remind yourself that emotions are not a problem that need to be fixed. They just need to be felt. So your kid knows what to do with them in their own body. It's us as adults who never really learned any of these skills. and we're shut down whenever we had emotions, possibly, that we don't really know what to do with emotions. And so we kind of freak out and think that they need to get back to happy. Like we think our job is to keep our kids happy. There's a whole couple other videos about that. If you want to dig back into the blogs and find those. Point is, all emotions are good. Okay, they're just a signal from the brain to the body with a message. Okay, so your brain thinks a thought and then it sends a vibration down into the body, and that's what an emotion is. Okay, so if you're thinking, I can't believe this drama queen cannot find her shoes again. Every time when we get home, I say, put your shoes in the mud room. See how when emotions are high, logic is low? I can't even think of the word when I start feeling the feels of frustration because I've told her this a million times. That's the thought, right? My brain is like, I've told her this a million times. Why can't she just put her shoes in the mudroom? So the next time when we need to go somewhere, it's not an extra 30-minute delay trying to find her shoes. Just put them in the mudroom. Okay. So all these thoughts are what are making me frustrated, not her shoes. Okay. We've got to stop blaming the stuff. I have a lot of stuff I blame for a lot of emotions. Okay. But the same stuff is in the house and the kids are not having the same emotion. The husband's not having the same emotion about the stuff. It's because of my own thoughts. Okay. So it's fine to have the emotions. It's fine to feel frustrated. It's fine to feel annoyed. The goal is to not act it out, right? To have my own adult temper tantrum at her next time it's time to go somewhere and she can't find her shoes. That's not my ideal mothering, but sometimes I still do it and I'm still a good mom. But the point is emotions, okay? So, you know me, I like to tangent all over the place. Focus. We're back to emotions. Okay, so the power struggle with emotions is this. They start emoting. We start emoting. We don't like it. And so we need to get them to stop, right? So if they come to us sad because their friend at school said whatever, and they're having thoughts about that, right? Friend at school said, I don't want to play that game with you on the playground. And they're thinking like that's some sort of rejection or whatever, you know, whatever they're making it mean. Their thoughts are making them feel sad. They come home from school. They're still thinking those thoughts. They're still feeling sad. And we want to quick fix it for them. We're like, oh, it's okay, sweetie. Maybe she just wanted to play another game. She still likes you. You're still friends. Da, da, da. We want to give her new thoughts to feel less rejected, which is great. And that's awesome. But we also need to honor her feelings because what happens is a tug of war with emotions. Okay. So she feels sad and we're like, no, don't feel sad. You need to feel happy. Let's get back to happy. And she's like, when you pull on that rope, she's going to pull harder for her sad story. She's going to be like, no, mom, you don't understand. She was so mean. Everybody was rude to me all the time. And they start with the always and then we start with the drama queen. It's this, why is she always in victim mode and blah, blah, blah. Hypothetically, I might think thoughts like this, right? And so I'm pulling on it to be like, get over it. Come back to like, do you know what I've been going through today? I can't deal with this on top of everything else. La, 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 my own thoughts. So I'm pulling on my rope. She's pulling on her rope, even more determined to prove to me that her sadness is valid. That's all she wants. She wants to be validated in her emotions. We all want that at every age. And so the earlier we can figure it out with them, the better. Okay. So just let her be sad. That's how you drop the war. That's how you drop your end of the rope. You validate that she feels sad. Yes, if somebody said that to me, I would probably take it personally too. And I would feel sad too. And da, 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 da. And I understand why you feel sad right now. And just sit with her in her sadness. If you can't figure out what to say because you're dealing with all your own drama in your own head, just breathe, right? We always come back to just breathe and let her feel sad. You do not have to fix her emotion for you to feel better. That's the whole message. That's everything we work on coaching all the time, is to regulate ourselves so that we can just hold that space for her emotion. That's how we drop the war on the emotions. Does that make sense? So try it this week when your toddlers are having their temper tantrums. Just let them feel their feels. We escalate it by pulling on the rope and being like, this is not a big deal. The cup is blue. Who cares? Can't you just drink out of a blue cup? I know you like yellow, but the yellow one's dirty. I told you 100 times the yellow one's dirty. And we're trying to rationalize with somebody who, first of all, doesn't even have a prefrontal cortex fully developed, years out from having a fully developed prefrontal cortex. And they're in their lizard brain hardcore. When they're having a tantrum, just let them tantrum it out. Their brain and their body know how to handle it. We don't need to intervene as much as we do. The only reason why we think we need to intervene is to help us feel better. So if we can just concentrate on ourselves, figuring out our own garbage going on in our own heads, and let it process in our own bodies, feel the feels, and not be tug of warring with your own brain body connection. Just let it all happen naturally. Your body knows what to do with emotions. Your brain gets in the way sometimes as we try to overthink these things. Okay. That makes sense? Speaking of mental and emotional, I have a mental and emotional resilience class that I would love to teach your Relief Societies or your young women's if you live in the Salt Lake area. So hit me up for that. Hit me up for coaching. Do you know about my coaching package? So we meet together every week for 8 weeks on just a quick 30-minute Zoom call where you're going to tell me where you were having struggles with these concepts, and I'm going to coach you about it. And then you work on the things we talk about during the week, and then you come back and let me know where you were struggling and we'll coach on it. And so it's kind of like these videos, except there's actual interaction and I can see into your brain and show you your blind spots, right? So let's do it. Hit me up for some coaching. Currently the 8-week program is Believe That You Are a Good Mom. So if you haven't heard of this, then go to dropthewarlifecoach.com/believe to sign up for the masterclass, start learning about believing that you are a good mom. And then in 8 weeks, you'll have a solid foundation of believing that you are a good mom. And then we can build onto that with all the other behavioral issues and all the other stuff that comes up in parenting that you need help with. And we can work on that along the way. It's all part of believing that you're a good mom. So I'd love to be your coach. Let me know. Emily at dropthewarlifecoach.com is my email address, or DM me Instagram, Facebook, whatever. Okay. Start working together. Find more peace in your parenting. Drop these wars with the emotions. So try that this week and let me know how it's going. To just when they're emoting, when they're feeling their feelings, just let them feel it and focus on, like, picture that visual is what I do, is like I'm dropping my end of the rope by just letting them feel their feelings. And if I'm with it enough to sincerely empathize with them, I might try that, but at least not escalate it by trying to hurry up their process of feeling better so that I can feel better. I can do that myself. And if you can't do that yourself, that's what I'm for. That's what a coach can help you do. So, all right. Thanks for listening. I'll see you next week or hear from you sooner so that we can get personal with this stuff. Okay. Love you. Bye.